Hi friends, Susan Campfield here with Suestampfield.com. Welcome to my stamp room. Come on in, we're going to create together, we're going to relax, we're going to have fun, we're going to take some sips, we're going to lose some stuff, it'll be great. And together we're going to create hopefully a beautiful card. So hope you're doing well. I want to remind you that I do send out free project sheets that match up with some of my videos. You can subscribe at Suestampfield.com, and I usually send those out about twice a month. So I hope you're doing well. Let me know what your weather is like in the comments. I'm going to give you a heads up that we are having storms here in the St. Paul, Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And it was bad, and now all of a sudden it stopped. The sun has come out. It's supposed to rain actually all night long and into tomorrow. So I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that we, first of all, the internet holds up for our video tonight, and that my sweet dog Mercy can hold it together. She does not like storms. I don't know if you can see her if I tilt this. Let's see. Can you guys see her? Hang on. There she is. You can just barely make her out right behind me here. So she has had some medications to help her deal with the trauma here. So right now she's chill, so we're going to just hope for the best. So let me know what's in your cup tonight. We play a little game here at Suestampfield because I'm a messy stamper. So when I lose something and then I find it again, we all say found it. We take a sip of our beverage. So let me know what's in your cup tonight. I have no cup. I've been constantly patting a dog for the last hour and a half and just hoping that we'd be able to go live here. So you guys will be sipping for me, okay? So somebody asked in the last video how we came up with the game, the sipping game. I'm going to grab a scrap paper because we're going to need that tonight, I think. Here we go. And it was actually Janine J. Rinker, who is one of our regular viewers and one of my team members, who I said, oh, look, you guys, I found it. And she said, what, is this a drinking game? Every time you say found it, we take a sip. So hence the take a sip was born. So we're going to go ahead, get coffee, ice water, Diet Coke, all the things. All right, so we're going to make a fun fold card tonight because that is one of my favorite kinds of cards to make. So let's go ahead and go down to the desktop and get started. So I'm going to hit this button. Yes, excellent. Okay, it's a little crooked, a little wonky. That's pretty much par for the course tonight, you guys. I'm feeling a little wonky. So we're going to start by cutting our cardstock here. We're going to use a bundle that I've been having just a ton of fun with. This is the Coneflower Celebrations bundle. It has been so popular. Oh goodness, things are falling. I don't know what that was. Something just fell from the sky, but anyway, this is the Coneflower bundle. It has been out of stock because it's been so crazy popular. It is now back in stock. Hooray for that. And in the last Crafternoon Fun Fold class, which we make, I show 5 different versions of a new fold. This is the quadruple Z fold card. What the heck? Something is falling. I don't know. Huh. All right, I'm just going to keep on. Tell me if you guys can still hear and see me because things are falling over here. So we're going to actually use this to make a card here. So not this card. For information on this card, you can go to my website, suestampfield.com. And this is part of a paid tutorial where there are, again, 5 different cards with that unique fold. And you get to learn how to make all of them in that tutorial. So anyway, let's go into what we're making tonight, which is a fun fold card. And we're going to do some kind of different, a little bit different things with this stamp set and really lean onto the stamp set. So let me grab. So for those of you that have been patiently, or maybe not so patiently, I'm not very patient, waiting for the Coneflower to come back, it is back. So that is great. All right, I'm going to grab my measurements here. We're going to start with thick basic white. So this is it's thicker than the standard basic white. And for this particular card, I like to do the thick. We are making a faux step fold card, and we're going to use the Coneflower for that. So we're going to cut this at 4 1/4 by 11. See, my paper is already 8.5 by 11, right? So I did 4.25, and oh, Luana just ordered it tonight because she got an email from Stampin' Up saying it's back. Yeah, Stampin' Up is doing a really great thing now. When you want to order something and it's not in stock, you can give them your email address and ask them to contact you when it is available. So we're going to go ahead and score this at 1 inch. Okay, so again, it was 4.25 by 11, and we're scoring it at 1 inch, 2 inches, oh gosh, the weather out there is just holding great. It's sunny, the sun came back, everything looks really nice. Let's hope it holds till after the video. Actually, it'd be great if it just held all night, but I don't think we're in for that. And then we're going to do 6.5. And our wonderful moderator, Mary Nass, who's hanging in our comments here at YouTube, is dropping in the measurements for us. Thank you so much, Mary. I also have them printed out, and we'll show them at the end of the video. As I mentioned, I have spent the last, oh, I'm sorry, Andrea, I put your comment up too. I have been spending the last hour and a half comforting a freaked out dog. So well, hopefully I didn't miss anything when I was typing these up with her in my lap. All right, we're going to cut this next one at 2.5 inches by 11. 2.5 inches by 11. There we go. And Julie says that feature works really well. Oh, do you mean where I show the measurements on the screen? Yeah. And Mary is so awesome. Let's give Mary a shout out for all that she does here for us at Suestampfield. And we're going to go to, Sue says, do you want to cut off 1/2 inch on 11 1/2 inch side? I'm not sure what you're asking, Sue, because it's only 11. I needed 11. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see if I messed up already. Okay, so we're going to score this 2.5 by 11 at 5.5. And this is going to be the tented portion of our card. Okay, so we've got that. And let's put that up on the screen, what those measurements were. 2.5 by 11 scored at 5.5 for the tented portion. And Mary's getting lots of love in the comments. Fantastic. You guys are so awesome. What a great community we have here at our Suestampfield Tuesday and Saturday night stamping parties, right? All right, so we got these two. Now this guy is extra. Extras are always good. So we're going to go ahead and let's do a little bit of folding here. Now this one, so you're not able to see this, but there's a 1 inch score, a 2 inch score, and then at 6.5. We're going to accordion fold these, so I'm going to actually start on the 2 inch score and fold upwards. Am I doing that right? Yes, I am. Okay. Let me show you a full tent fold card that we made here a couple months back. I want to say it was a couple months back. So this is the style of card that we're making, is a faux tent fold, but we're going to use the coneflower. And then I'm going to fold this one backwards so that I get that accordion. So this was the 1 inch, 2 inch. So you can see I did a mountain fold and then a valley fold. And then on this one right here, I'm going to do another mountain fold. All right. There we go. All right, so that is going to be the base of our card. The reason I like to use the thick cardstock for this or a color cardstock is that it stands a little bit better with the thinner, the basic white. Unless you have layers on it, it tends to maybe flatten out a bit. So I do have a better luck with the thick. And then this one, we're going to just fold it, mountain fold on the center part there. All right, so we've got that all ready to go here. And now we're going to do a little stamping. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope I can find, oh, found it. Ha! Yay. All right, hang on. You see my head here? Okay. I'm reaching in to get some Post-it notes. I'm going to do what we call masking. Now, this is not necessarily just a term for stamping, although it is used in stamping. It's also used in painting. So if you're painting your kitchen, you mask off the woodwork, or some people do. I watch videos where they don't even mask off and they like paint perfectly without getting any paint on the trim. Yeah, that doesn't happen for me. So if you mask off the wood trim so you don't get paint on it, same idea. I'm going to be doing some stamping here, and I don't particularly want any ink down here too. So I'm gonna cover that one up too. Now what we're doing here is we are going to stamp our own background by using these stamps, these awesome coneflower stamps. And this was inspired by a card I saw, actually a couple cards, maybe 3 cards I saw in the demonstrator planning place where they had done this. And I apologize to the creator of those because I do not know the names of those people, and I don't know who had it first. But shout out to, this was not my idea. This is from a fellow demonstrator. So I have these masked off. This one I didn't mask off very well. Come on, Susan, let's get it straight. So I'm just going to protect those parts that I don't want ink. And now I'm going to take, here it is, found it. It was literally right in front of my face. Take a sip, you guys. It was in front of my face. So this is the very large, find the box here. This very large image. You can see it's actually larger than pictured on the box because it's so big it actually wouldn't fit on the box in that size. And we're going to take the Daffodil Delight ink pad, which is slightly buried, but I have located it, and we're going to stamp a background. So we're going to ink this up with the Daffodil Delight. Get it good and juicy there, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to do, let's bring one in kind of right here. And I'm just making my own, pattern paper, if you will. I'm going to ink this up again and flip it around here. And I'm going to have some petals kind of coming in here like so. Right, so I've got some pattern going there. Now I'm going to come over to this side and do the same thing over here. So this time I think I'll flip it around and have the petals coming in here. There we go, like that. And then I'll do another coneflower down here. Just going to kind of angle it like that. The center part's not going to show, so I'm not going to worry about that. That's going to be covered up, but that's kind of what I was after. So now when I peel off these Post-it notes, I have a nice clean unstamped edge at the bottom and a nice clean unstamped edge at the top. Now that would have just gone around to the back side. Not a big deal. You know, you could have not bothered with the masking. I think it looks a little more professional if I don't do that, do that. And I also was careful to not overlap the images. Do you see how I got them right next to each other but didn't overlap? Sometimes when you're overlapping, you lose all definitions and it just ends up looking a little bit messy. So I would recommend doing just the whole image if you can and not overlapping. All right. So there we have our little background that we have created. And then we're going to do this tinted portion over the top. And that background is just going to add something to our card. Now we're going to add actually an embossed layer on here. And I actually already, if I can find it, Susan. Oh, Susan, hang on. I know it's here. I just had it. Oh, here it is. Okay, found it. Oh my goodness. Buried under about 6 things by now. I have a piece of basic white that I embossed with the sunflower embossing folder. And we're going to cut this up and we're going to use it on our card. I would emboss one in front of you, but in the 2 minutes I had of putting down the dog and going live, I couldn't put my hands on this folder. It's somewhere right in my room here. But I thought, you know what? I have this piece already done. We're just going to use this. You guys know how to do 3D embossing. You've seen that before. So I hope you're okay with that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut a piece to decorate the bottom edge and a layer to cover that. Just kind of decorate that up. So hang on, let me just find my measurements. Okay, got them. I found them. Take another sip, you guys. I found my measurements. All right, so the bottom step should be This was the very last minute scramble to figure this out. Balancing a ruler and a dog and a card, and oh my goodness. All right, this I believe is 4 by 3/4 inches. Yes, okay, it is. All right, so we're going to do that on the bottom edge, and then we're going to do a panel here that is, let me just look at that, 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. Now, you guys are my people. I know you've had times where you've gone to grab something and it has just vanished, even though you know you just had it. Yeah, you are my people. So I found a piece that was already embossed, which is almost as good, right? Okay, so we've got these pieces that we're going to layer on here. So let's go ahead and I think I can put the trimmer away now. I think I've got everything else cut. Cross fingers. Right, so let's go ahead and let's stick this on first. So I'm going to put adhesive just at the bottom here. I did 2 pieces. I want to make sure it's no higher than this front step, which is 1 inch. And I'm going to lay this on here about in the center and adhere it. Okay, that looks pretty close to me. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring it. And let's give that a press. And then I'm going to open this up all the way and put 2 more pieces back here. And I'm going to go ahead and just fold that flat, line it up with that bottom edge, and give that a press. All right, so there we've got our card is going here. Now the fun part. Now we get to decorate it. So is that a little bit wonky? I think it's okay. All right. Let's go ahead and stick on this 3D sunflower. Now this one just came out in, what month are we? July here. This is a new online exclusive. And the coneflower is actually in the annual catalog, but this one just goes so well with it. I love pairing these together. They are fantastic together. Okay, so we've got that on there. So pretty, right? And then we're going to put this piece across the bottom for a little more embossing fun there. So let's stick that on. We will be adding a flower and some greetings and all the things next, but we're just getting the base of our card already. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got way behind on comments. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't miss anything important. Mary will let me know if I did. Okay, so let's make a cone flower now. So we've got our fun background. All right, let's go ahead and grab our, hang on, I know it's here somewhere. I got the stamps. That's good. We got a stem, we got a leaf. Aha, found it. Granny Apple Green ink pad and couple pieces of cardstock here. All right, so this long one is it's 1 by 4 3/4, and this one is 1 1/2 by 2 3/4. And we're going to go ahead and ink these up here, and we're going to stamp these, and then we'll be die cutting these out. Okay, the stamp, there we go, plenty of room on there. White on white is elegant, isn't it? And then with that fun yellow background, we are making a white coneflower, which looks exactly like a daisy, which is perfect for summer, right? Okay, so I've got those 2 stamped. And let's close this up here and bring in our die cutting machine, and we're going to do some cutting. So let's grab this. Let's grab the dies. All right, so these are the coneflower dies. These are the ones that have been out of stock. They are back. This die, now we'll talk about this in a minute, but this actually would be a fun one to put across here at the bottom to decorate your card. That would be a good purpose for that one. We're not going to use it today, but just know that you could do that. It also makes great, I wish I probably have some floating around here somewhere. It makes a great lace look if you cut it and then layer it under the edge of your cardstock, so that it gives it kind of a, would you call that eyelet? Not really eyelet, but it's just like lace, right? Like a lacy edge. So very kind of cool. I didn't throw my folder. Oh, I hope I didn't throw my folder away, Virginia. Oh my goodness. Oh, don't say things like that. Give me a heart attack, right? No, I don't. I'm sure it's here. I'm sure it's here in a pile. It actually probably is right where it was supposed to be, and I was just so frazzled with the storm that I couldn't find it. Highly possible. Highly, highly possible. All right, we're going to start with this big folded flower. And we're not stamping it this time. Some of my other videos, I've stamped it first. This time I'm not. Okay, so you got to put the... yeah, so we got to... Let's double check our sandwich because I'm not sure I did it right. So number 1, number 2, and then I have a number 3 plate right here. I've got my die and my paper, and then I can pop this on. And do I want to cut any of the others? I'll cut the rest up together. I'll just do this guy. He takes up almost the whole thing. So a scalloped, that's it, Marilyn. Yes, like a scalloped edge. Yeah, super cool. So this is a 5x5 piece to cut this folded flower. It's a little bit bigger than you would need. I think you could get away with a little bit smaller than that, but I like to give myself lots of room to make errors. All right, so we've got that cut. Now this one actually cuts a score line right there so that the flower can fold, and that gives you a lot of fluffiness to your flower. So we're gonna set that aside and let's bring in some other fun dies here. Okay, we've got a stamped leaf. Here's the die for that. And we've got a long stem. Here's the die for that. I'll line those up in a minute. I might as well get everything in place here. Now I need a middle to my flower. So for that one, we're going to use a piece of Daffodil Delight. I think this is 1x2. Mary will let us know in the comments. And what else? Oh, yes, the other flower. So this is the detail part of the flower. Now, if I'd wanted to, I could have stamped on here first. Let's see, I can show you that on this one again. So this one I stamped crushed curry on crushed curry there first, just to add some fullness to the flower. This time we're going to see what that looks like if you don't do that. All right, let's grab another piece for this guy. Oh, Mary, what was this one? Look on your measurements, Sue. This one is 2.5 by 4.25 is what I cut. Again, maybe a little bit bigger than you need. I'm going to slide this back and I'm going to use some... Okay, where'd you put the sticky notes, Susan? You had them for masking. Oh, jeez. All right, well, I found another pack, so... We'll call it a found it, won't we? So I want to line up my die with my stamped image here. That is the beauty of the die, right? Yeah, let's line it up correctly, Susan. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I want to line up my leaf. Did that move on me? No, okay. All right. Phew. All right, let's stick this down. You know what? I have the wrong die. You see, I'm trying to line up this leaf with this leaf and it doesn't match. This is the other leaf. There are two. For this one, we're going with kind of the foldy leaf, I guess it is. And it's got an extra curl to it. There we go. You can see how that matches up perfectly. Oh, Joan says there's a rainbow out there in the sky. She's in my area too. So... have to check that out after the video and see if it's still there. Okay, so I'm only going to use the sticky notes on the stamped pieces. The others, I feel like they're secure enough that if they move a tiny bit, it's not a big deal. All right, let's go ahead and send this through. I apologize for the reflection there on the plate. So, okay. Yeah, it was like right before I went live, it was pitch black about right up till about 7:15, I want to say. So yeah, it was stormy. All right, so let's find our take your pick tool. Found it. Yes, we're gonna just give this a little poke and pop that out. All right, and I've lost the die. Oh gosh, it's right in front of your face, Sue. Oh my goodness, seriously. All right, so we've got this one. That one. What else we got here? What else we got? Slide you guys back. Let's see how we did. Cross your fingers, everyone. Let's hope I got the stem right. Yes. All right, fantastic. There's our stem. And let's grab, whoa, come here you. Where are you going? Where are you going? All right. And we've got our leaf here. Fabulous. And then we have this flower. Now this one is a detail flower. Oh, I did it again. Okay. So I can tell this did not cut all the way. The reason it didn't cut all the way is I had it as far away from the roller as it could be. I had it way down here at the end, and I had a lot of other things going on. So with this one, I should have put it on the side closer to the edge, either edge, could have been over here, doesn't matter. And that's because in the die cutting machine, which we will bring back in here so we can cut this properly. This is the one I should have cut by itself, actually. This is a detailed die, so it can be, it needs a little more oomph to cut it. So I'm going to go put it back in. There's a roller under here that presses down when you crank it through that presses the die into the paper and cuts the paper. Very simple mechanism. But when you have a really detailed die, you're going to get a better cut if it's out by the edge because there's just more pressure on the outside edges of the roller. It's like a physics thing. So let's see. Let's see how we did. Now, the other thing to do if you have a die that sometimes doesn't cut the first time through is just to send it through twice before you even check it. But now I can see it cut beautifully all the way through because I had it over to the side. So just a little tip if you have, this one is pretty easy, but some of the ones that are like really lacy or have just a ton of detail, you do sometimes just need to put them through twice, right? All right, I'm poking on these ejection holes here. Get this guy popped out. Fantabulous. There we go. Boom. All right, so let's see what we have. A little recap here. I almost set the take your pick tool down on my chair, which would be silly because you know I would lose it then, right? Oh my goodness. All right. I am really good at losing things, let me tell you. All right. Not something I particularly want to be good at, but there we have it. Okay, so there we have all our parts and pieces and we're ready to build our flower. So let's take all these things out of the way. Just gonna pop them right back onto their magnet sheet. And, all right, close enough. They're just thrown on there, but that'll work. Okay, so we're gonna start by folding this one in half. And I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm actually, oh, crazy take your pick tool that likes to roll around. Probably because my desk isn't level. So I'm taking my bone folder and I'm just curling the edge of this, the top edge, so that it just gives it kind of a nice little fluffy ruffle there, if that makes sense. And then on this one, I'm actually going to curl these down. You could also curl these up for a slightly different look. Totally up to you. I'm going to try it just kind of curled down like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this flat. So you can use glue dots for this. You can use adhesive. I'm going to use adhesive for this. And I'm just lining it up with the top part. There's kind of a little, I guess I could have called that a ruffly edge where the top of that cone flower stamen, is that what you would call that? Whatever the center of the flower, let's say, is. And now because I curled this and I curled this, I'm getting some extra dimension on that flower. And then we're going to add our center to our flower and just pop that right in place like so. All right, so we're off to the races here. We've got a good daisy going here and we've got our stem. So let's bring this in and I'm going to go ahead and start building my card. So this stem, all right, I think what I want to do is go ahead and adhere this back of the flower down to my card. Let's do that. I don't want to get it, I only want adhesive in the middle because some of these petals are going to extend beyond the side and I don't want them sticky, right? So I'm going to just stick that on right there. Now, if your stem, what's cool about this flower is the stem goes up inside, and you can make it shorter or longer depending on how far up you slide it. On this one, I'm going to be putting a greeting at the bottom that's going to cover it up, so it kind of doesn't matter, but I'll go like right there. That looks good. And I'm going to just hold this in place with, uh-oh. All right, who took the dimensionals? Oh, here, found them. Yay. Goodness. Seed pod. Okay, it's the seed pod at the top. Yeah, there's probably a whole bunch of seeds in there, isn't there? Good one, Nancy. All right, so we got that tacked down with one and then with two. And then, oh, what the heck, let's add a couple more in here. This again is going to add, these are dimensionals, and they're going to add dimension to our card. So yay for that. All right, so I've got that. And I'm going to go ahead and just fold that closed. All right, so now because of the dimensionals in there, because we curled these leaves, we have this fuller, fluffier flower. That's a lot of F's. All right, fuller, fluffier flower. And then I'm going to take a glue dot here. Now you could also do, hey, why don't we curl this too? What the heck? Why not? We'll curl this out a little bit. And that's going to go right in there. You could use a glue dot to attach this. You could use a dimensional. Totally up to you. I'm going to go with a glue dot. Maybe. Where are they? Here they are. Found it. Take a sip, everyone. Take a sip. I know I'm blaming Mercy for a lot tonight. All right, she's being so good right now. She is completely conked out due to some happy meds that the vet gave us today, and so she is out of it. But it's not storming, so it starts up again later. Let's just hope I get some sleep tonight. We'll see how she does, but she's being very good right now. All right, so we've got two glue dots mushed on the end of our leaf right there. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to tuck that behind my stem. Now you can also tack down the stem with a glue dot here. I think my words are actually going to hold that down. Let's find out. So let's grab, I have some little teeny tiny pieces of paper. I'm really hoping I didn't lose. Oh yay, found them. All right, so this piece is a, oh, what is it, Mary? Hang on, I've buried my measurements. This one is a 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch. Oh, yeah, I have a typo there. And this is 5/8 by 1 5/8. So, all right, Mary, sorry, this shouldn't say layer under the greeting. It should say greeting layer, I suppose. Okay, I've got my Daffodil Delight ink pad. And I'm going to use, now this set, it has some great sentiments in it. The one I like a lot is happy belated birthday, because I'm often late. Celebrating you is a great one as well. For this card, I'm going to use thank you. So this particular piece that I have cut is just cut to size for this particular stamp. So if you wanted a different greeting, you would just stamp your piece accordingly so that your greeting will fit. All right, so I've got my thank you stamped right there in Daffodil Delight. Now Daffodil Delight is a little bit of a lighter color, so if you wanted that darker, you could certainly do that in a darker color. And let's go ahead and layer that up. Other way around, Mary, actually. You had it, yeah, I had it wrong. The white one is the greeting layer, the greeting. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. The Daffodil Delight one is the one under the greeting. Just the description is wrong. The measurements are right. I'm spot on it. Thank you, Mary. All right, so we've got that stamped, and that is going to go right here. And so I think I can just hold down the... Where'd the dimensionals go, you guys? Seriously, we had them in our hands like 2 seconds ago, and they have vanished. Ah, found them under the stamp set, of course. All right, let's grab this. And we're going to go ahead and pop this on here. And that's just going to hold, it's going to do double duty. It's going to hold our stem down, and it's also going to hold our greeting on. I'm going to throw on another one. Ooh, is that going to work? I think so. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it won't poke out. Let's find out. Do a little test there. Oh yeah, that's fine. All right. I suppose I could even do a third one, but I don't think I'll need it. So. All right, so I've got my dimensionals down there at the bottom, and we'll just center this over the bottom of that stem. on the bottom step. Thank you. And then on the inside of the card, I think we should do a little something something, don't you think? And now it might have been easier to stamp the inside of the card before I did all of that, but I didn't. So we're going to make it work. It's going to be hard for you to see because it's going to want to keep closing. So we'll do our best. All right, so what should we put on the inside? So let me grab the sentence. How about thank you, you made my day. That works, right? And then let's do a butterfly too because we can, right? Such a cute butterfly. There's a die for the butterfly too that you can cut that out. And what did I say? You made my day. Where did that go? You made my day. I think it's right here. Nope, that's celebrating you. Here it is. It was hiding from me. Okay, you made my day. All right, let's hope that's what that says. All right, let's grab a couple blocks here. Will this fit on there? I think so. You made my day. Yeah, I think that's what that says. And let's grab a butterfly right here. Something about yellow and white that's just so eye-appealing, crisp and clean, right? And of course, with this coneflower bundle, oh my gosh, you can't go wrong. All right, let's pop this inside. Now, I don't like to write too many words, so I don't need a whole lot of space. And then we'll grab this. Now again, the daffodil is a light color, so if this is too light for you, you could absolutely do it in black or in granny apple green. But there we have the You Made My Day. You could even put the coneflower, kind of just the edge of it down at the bottom. I think I'm going to leave it just like this. Of course, the other option for this fold is to do a ribbon across the bottom. That's another fun way to do this card. So lots of options. Now we didn't even add any. Should we add any embellishments? Let me ask you all in the comments if we should add embellishments. The other option with this card is we could have done, instead of an embossed panel back here, we could have done a designer series paper and Daffodil Delight. We could have done our what are they called, 6x6 papers in the brights that would have the daffodil in it. That would be another option. So many options. So let me know in the comments, should we add any embellishments to this? Do we need any? We certainly could. We could add some rhinestones, some pearls, some other kind of bling. But yeah, crisp and clean is definitely the look with the yellow and white. So it, like for a baby shower, for like a wedding shower, just so many things. Okay, we got one vote for no bling and one vote for bling. Uh-oh, it's a tie. All right, bling, yes, no. It doesn't need it, right? It doesn't need it, but you certainly could if you wanted to. Always, yes, pearls. Well, let's try it, you guys. Come on, let's just try, see what we think. Mercy, you're being a good girl. What a good dog you are. Yes, good dog. Good girl. So I'm just grabbed a couple options here. Those are the pearls. They would be very innocent. They wouldn't take away from anything. They would be nice and hidden. You could also do an embellishment like the In Color Flat Pearls. Now these are actually Darling Duckling color, but they would, I think, work on this card as well. Just for the heck of it, let's give it a try. Doesn't need it, no bling. Do I have a bee? Oh, I don't know. Do we have bees anymore? We used to have bees, but I don't know if we have them anymore. A bee would be cute. No bling. Put a little bee on the top of the coneflower. You guys have all sorts of great ideas. I'm just going to see what some pearls would look like. You might be right. It might be overkill because we have a lot going on in this card with the stamped background, the embossed piece. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Don't love it. You could put a couple down by the greeting, of course. Just keep them small, one at the end, at each end of the greeting. Yeah, I don't know that it needs it, honestly. We're going to keep this one simple, I think. So it's always an option, right? Depending on who you're sending it to. You could also do a bee would be okay, would be good. Let me bring in the dimensions here so you guys can grab a screenshot. One moment while I unbury those. They're here somewhere. This is the card that we made on Saturday night's video, if you happen to see that, where we did the tearing technique with the two-tone cardstock, which has a white core, which then gave us the white caps for our ocean there. Okay. Aha! Got it. Hang on. Hang on. Oh my goodness, those are really buried. All right, those are our dimensions right there. Let's see, can you guys, I'm going to kind of flatten it out a little bit. So how's that? Does that kind of hopefully capture the card and the measurement? Oh, wait, you got to move it up, Sue. Oh, I'm dropping stamps. Hello. Ah, golly. All right. All right. How we doing? How we doing? How's that? All right. Give that a go, guys. Yeah, you could add a butterfly. You could add a bee. Really good suggestions. Love it. We have, oh, you know what? We do have tiny bee trinkets. Let me see if I have some. Hang on. Hold on, I'm looking. Aha! All right, we do have some tiny bee trinkets. So let me just take this and see what that would look like. They're teeny tiny. Oh, this one already has a glue dot on it. Well, how about that? All right, so you could do a little tiny bee right up there. All right, oh wait. I think the bee should be on the other side because we have a leaf on that side. I'm all about the balance, right, guys? All right, so there we have a little tiny bee up in the corner. Yay or nay? What do you guys think? If you were making this card, would you add the bee, or do you think not? Or should the bee actually be on the flower? Let's see what that looks like. Heard there's some devastating disease going around here in Minnesota, that the bees are not doing well. So let's hope that turns around. I think it has to be up here, actually. You guys like the bee. The bee's the perfect finish. All right, we're gonna go with the bee, you guys. And one more time with the dimensions and with the bee, so that you've got all of the things. There we go. Pop that around. And yes, the bee on the flower. I did it right above the flower. It could also be cute on the flower. You could put on the leaf. Lots of options, right? So you do like the bee. Yeah, it's a little more fitting with the theme maybe than the pearls did. So awesome. Keep the bee. All right, you got it, you guys. I'm going to flip the camera here. Let's see if Miss Mercy, oh, come here. Oh, goodness. All right, Mercy and I are going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Mercy, thank you for being so good after the storm and not causing any problems. So take care. Thank you so much for making and sending handmade cards. You're absolutely making the world a kinder place with every card that you send. So thank you for all that you do. Quick reminder, I do send out free project sheets. You can go to Suestampfield.com. And then Saturday is, oh, Mercy, I'm going to just climb over you. She's stretching between my legs. Saturday is my monthly class, my Crafternoon class. I'm very excited to share another fold with you guys. I think you'll love it. So hope you can tune in Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Those of you who placed a $50 order in my online store for Stampin' Up! Product last month received a packet, or the packets are on their way. I think many of you have already received them. They are on their way, and you can create with me on Saturday. So that'll be really fun. If you would like to create with me next month at my next Crafternoon class, just place a $50 order before tax and shipping and after rewards in my online store for Stampin' Up! Product, and you'll get next month's packet. Take care, everyone. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.